Hello. Hi, how are you? Hopefully good. Are you good? Are you not sad anymore? Are you a normie? Do you not dress like your goth anymore? 24-year-old me? Should be 24 about now. This is 19-year-old me talking to you. Life is pretty weird, so I decided to do this video during this time of my life because I feel like it'd be very weird and kind of surreal to look back on it. Currently, the world is going through a pandemic. That's not fun. You saw your friends today, which was good. Staying 6 feet apart, don't worry. You guys sat in like the trunks of your cars and talked for about an hour and then went home. But yeah, this is your room. You decorated it differently because of the pandemic. You are currently in competitive color guard. Did I do competitive color guard all 4 years of college? Are you still doing color guard related things now? Because at age 24 you'd be out of college. Are you still doing color guard? I really hope you are. The year is currently 2020 and the date is April 19th. It's almost 420 in 420. Have you done that yet? This is your rifle. This is your first year spinning it. Are you really good at rifle now? Like, I want to know. Are you okay? Did you get a therapist finally? You've been needing a therapist for a while. You still don't have one. Is the hair thing still an issue? Have you talked about it yet? Have you told more people about it yet? I really hope it's not an issue. That sucks. It sucks so much. So a few days ago, as of filming this video on April 19th, 2020, you started skateboarding. This is your first skateboard. It says glam on it. I haven't put stickers or anything on it yet. Are you still riding your skateboard? I hope so. Let's see if technology has improved at all or if you've improved on your technology at all. This is your phone. It's a Samsung Galaxy S8. It has a stitched phone case. You got it when you were in Disney World with your college marching band for that bowl game in Florida your freshman year, which to me that wasn't that long ago. What's your music taste like? Because currently Joji's Give Me Love just came out and you really like that. Lanterns Lit by Sunlux is probably the #1 song to make you cry right now. Also Cage of Bones by Sunlux. You've been delving into Cosmo Sheldrake because of your first year at XRG, so you still listening to him? Billie Eilish. At this point in time, the only like real album she has out is When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? How many albums has she come out with? Are you still a fan of her? By then she'll be 23 when this happens. Is she still a legend? I feel like she's still gonna be a legend by the time this comes out. One thing I do want to ask you, I've been wanting to write a song for the longest time, or even like a small album or EP or whatever. I don't know the terms, but have you written a song yet? Have you like actually put together a song and put it out into the world? Because I currently haven't made a single song. And you have been writing songs for years. You found your old songbook up like in your bathroom, like on the top of the cabinet of your bathroom, and it was like super dusty and it was from like 6th grade or something. You've been writing music for years. Have you finally written a song? I really hope you have. Is Lee Alexander McQueen still your Lord and Savior because you have his Bible? His beautiful work. Is he still your favorite designer? I want to know. Follow-up question. I just completed this collection here. I finished it in February, so at this point I finished it about 2 months ago. Are you still doing streetwear? Because I currently have plans for still doing streetwear in the future. Up to this point I was a strictly formal wear designer, so are you still doing streetwear? I'm just curious what your design aesthetic looks like in comparison to what I'm doing right now, because I know even just year by year I do something monstrously different, so I want to know what you're doing right now. Did Project Runway call you back when you were finally 21? I just want to know, did you do that? Did you compete on Project Runway? I just want to know. Or were you not dumb enough to do that? Because they called you when you were 18 and said they wanted you on the show, but you had to be 21, so I want to know if you got to do that. Did you finally get to go to Italy? You were gonna go on a trip in May 2020 to Italy, but it got canceled because everything's canceled right now. How is mom and dad? In the end, was the coronavirus faked, real? What is it like 5 years later, knowing probably everything about it at this point? Was it a ploy by the government to get them to have us do whatever we want, or was it literally just a virus? Because I believe it's just a virus that the government might just be taking advantage of. That is my current thoughts on that, but I want to know what's the real story here. No one knows what's happening right now. Absolutely nobody. You still dress like this? This is really comfy and just kind of like laid back for how you usually dress, but do you still dress like you're a middle school skater boy with the face of James Charles? I just want to know. Do you still have horrible skin? I have god-awful skin. You got it from your dad and your grandpa. It's not great. You cover it with foundation most of the time. And it is a very genetic thing, and so I hope it's gone completely by the time I'm 24. I am currently 1,010,000,000% single. Are you single? Are you in a relationship? Do you love that person? Do you really actually love that person? Because it takes you a long time to form that kind of attachment to somebody, so yeah. Are you married? That's weird. I couldn't see myself being married in 5 years. I really couldn't. I have a friend who just got proposed to, Madeline. So she now has a fiance, but she's 3 years older than me. So it's entirely possible and quite frightening. I highly doubt I am married at this point, and I can tell you 1,000,000,000,000,000,000% that I do not have a kid. I will not have a kid. You have friends right now who are your age, or maybe even slightly older, or even some slightly younger, who are already married or have fiancés and have kids. And it's scaring you and it's weirding you out because you don't feel that old. You really don't. You know, you're 19, you're almost in your 20s, which is not right because you feel way younger than that, but at the same time you feel a lot older than that. But no, I don't feel old enough to get married or have kids. I can't believe people are my age are doing it already. I mean, kudos to them, but I couldn't do it personally. You currently identify as a demi-romantic asexual. Has that changed? Also, for people who don't know what that is, no, asexuals don't asexually reproduce. That is a plant term. We are not plants. Number 2, it means I don't feel that way towards a person. It's not me just pushing it down saying I don't want to do it. It's literally me. I just don't. I'd rather not. As me, just a little bit, just not. And demi-romantic means I have to get to know them basically 4 months, be their friend, and do all the sing and dance before I end up liking them. I'm never attracted to somebody because of how they look. Is that still the same? Sexuality's fluid. I could be something entirely different at this point. What else can I ask about? You're still hand beading, right? Like every day? I've been beading. Spell it out here. Beading, not hand. Beating, beading, beading. Very important. A lot of people think I'm saying something entirely different. Are you hand beading and embroidering still? You just learned how to embroider. I can't believe it took you 5 years to learn how to do that. But you finally learned how to embroider. Yeah, 5 years. 5 years ago now you started sewing clothing. a lot can change in 5 years. Man, 2015, well, I did technically start in 2014, but I guess this summer will be 6 years. So I mean, at this point, you've been almost sewing for 6 years. Clothing, that is. Stuff in general has been 12 years. So by then, you would have been sewing clothing for 10 years. A decade? You've been sewing clothes for a decade now. I hope you're still in fashion and still doing that. You're absolutely addicted to it right now, so I really hope that hasn't changed. You've been addicted to it for the last 6 years, so I don't see why that would change, but you know, you took a break your sophomore year of college, right? You told everybody that you would take a break to finally be a kid because you haven't got the opportunity to be a kid for 6 years. The last time you actually felt like you were a kid and like you actually had fun being a kid was like summer 2016, and then it was over. It was completely over from there. You felt like an utter adult since. Did I take that break? I know it's next year and I know it's really soon, but I take that break. Also, did classes go online my sophomore year? I really hope they don't. That'd really mess it up. I want to do marching band again. I want to take the classes that I want to take because they serve me way better if they're taught in person rather than if they're taught online. I don't see how pattern making and sketching and doing Photoshop, like more in-depth Photoshop, is going to help online. I don't know how that's possible. I really hope you take classes like in person next semester. Did you finally get a show in the Iowa State Fashion Show? Because your freshman year, you submitted photos of it onto a Facebook event as your fashion show because it was canceled. Remember that? That was a lively night. Have you won scholarships from it? Gotta get that coin, girl. Have you learned how to spin saber yet? Because I feel like you would have had to have at least tried to pick up a saber and do something with it by now. Because at this point, you are learning rifle already, and you want to be on rifle line next year. Did I make it on rifle line my sophomore year? Or was there even band sophomore year? I'm just curious. How many relationships have you had while you were in college? Are you okay with sharing this number? I don't see myself having a lot. I don't even know how I would really end up meeting that many people. I really haven't. The only outlets you've had so far are through clubs and like extracurricular classes. I mean, are you okay? I want to know if you're still in these clubs. Your freshman year, right now, you are in cosplay club, you're in Trend magazine, you are in marching band, which isn't a club, it's like an extracurricular class, but still, it's like on the off day, whatever. And what else am I in? I thought I was in one more thing. Are you still in Winter Guard? And are you still getting the emails from cinematography club, even though, or like filmmaking club, even though you haven't showed up to a meeting and the very first one you tried to show up to, they moved buildings, but you didn't get that email, so you just never found them in the first place. And you stumbled across Tea Club, which sounds really cool. They drink tea in there. Sounds like a good time, but are you still in cosplay club? I just kind of started my Elsa cosplay. Don't have a photo of it yet. Maybe you in 5 years can put up a photo of that cosplay when it's done. I'm excited to get it done. Right now the bodice is pinned, nothing's beaded yet. The skirt, I don't know what the skirt's gonna look like. The wig isn't done. It's a whole catastrophe, but at this point you've only done one cosplay, and that was in 2018, and it was super fun. It was Shiro Nico. I had no idea who the character was or the anime or anything. You just had your friend Saber tell you that it was a good choice, and it seemed really easy enough, so you ended up doing it, and that was a fun cosplay, but I don't think I ever want to do a a schoolgirl outfit again. Thanks, Saber. This is your mouse pad. Did he only do one term? Did he get voted out of office? This This is the year that you get to vote for the very first time, and the person that you were going to vote for dropped out a week ago. So who'd you end up voting for? Because I currently have no idea now who I am going to vote for. And in 5 years there would have been 2 elections by now. So what, if you're comfortable, what's your stance on politics? I won't say what mine are. You know what mine are at this point. You know, they're currently kind of the first thing I ever put myself as on a ballot. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Victorian hats. Are you still collecting those? Are you also still collecting root beer bottles? Are you still a root beer fanatic? You've been for as long as I could remember. What do you still do? Have you been able to update the dollhouse that's been sitting in your basement your entire life? Have you been able to finally refurbish it? Did you get that done during quarantine? That's one of my things is that. Are you living in Europe right now? Did you escape America? Because you want to escape America and you just want to live in frickin' Europe. You want to move to Italy or Spain or London? I know I just said 2 countries in a city. It's fine. I don't have specifics yet. I'm 19 years old. But did you move to Europe or did you stay in the US? Do you still love big cities? I love big cities. I could live in one, hands down. Do you still live in big cities? You currently have 1 tattoo. This is the only one you have. It's really nice. You drew it yourself. I am 21 minutes into the filming already. Oh my god.